The next slide is going to be about the mentor text. When we started, we said one of the best parts of Writer's Workshop is that it brings reading and writing together and uses, rich literature to do that, because we want our kids to get excited about all things literacy. These are the mentor texts for the first grade units. If you're a first grade teacher, these would be the texts that you either want to have, in your classroom or in the library, or maybe you have a really nice teammate that will let you borrow it. But it starts off with Rocket Writes a Story, and so that's the launch book. That's what you'll read to teach your kids about writing, and I have started Writer's Workshop in my class this year, and we read Rocket Writes a Story, and then of course they're like, well, there's Rocket Writes a Word, all the different Rocket books, so they got really excited when they saw those in the library. But it's a really easy way to teach your kids about the writing process, and when I'm teaching, I'll sometimes be like, what did Rocket do when he was stuck? And so we go back and look at the book to kind of help us and grow those strategies. The next one is Our Tree Named Steve, and that's our narrative text. So that would be the big one that we use to teach narrative writing. For how-to writing, there's How to Teach a Slug to Read, which is a cute one. And then for informative writing, there's Ice Bear. And I told you I love persuasive writing. I Ain't Gonna Paint No More and Click Clack Moo are my two big ones that I use for persuasive writing. I actually had a little kid last year. This was like a teacher moment. I was teaching persuasive writing to my kids last year, and I love it. Like, I get real dorky when I teach persuasive writing. And so I was like, oh my gosh, we can get whatever we want when we write. Like, we are that powerful. Writers are so powerful, doing the whole talk. Well, one of my kids really wanted a fish. And so I said, good writers, they say what they want, but then they have to back it up. Why should we have a fish? There's a big, several units or several lessons on why. Because otherwise they'll just say, I want a fish, or give me a fish. So I was like, why do we want it? Why should you get a fish? And so this little guy, every free time he got, he wrote a letter to his mom why he should have a fish. And so he would fold it up and make an envelope. And, I have stamps on my desk for personal needs. And he'd be like, Miss Dias, can I have one of your stamps? So by day 5, I was like, sure, you can start using my stamps, just don't tell everyone. So stamps are expensive. So I give him a stamp, make it real official. He would go home and come back and be like, persuasive writing does not work. I did not get a fish. And so I was like, maybe you're not being persuasive enough. Let's think, how can we build our why to be stronger? And so he kept writing for, I say a long time, it was a week. A week, he's writing these persuasive pieces why he should get a fish. His mom bought him 2 fish. And he came back and was like, Miss Dias, my mom bought me 2 fish. And so then all the kids started writing their parents. I make sure in my newsletter that month, I'm like, we're learning about persuasive writing. So it was a wow. That was a good teacher moment. So your parents may not buy your kids fish, but it kind of should, or a lot of them in their free time would be like, Miss Dias, will you eat lunch with me? I will make sure that my area is clean, and I will help you when you look like you need help. And so, of course, I have to let them eat with me because, persuasive writing, if you're good, you get your way. So that's why there's 2 texts for persuasive writing. And then the last one is 3 Billy Goats Fluff, and that is for our fiction writing. But also, okay, so I said you can find books that work for you, and if these ones don't, find books that you like more. I found Piggy Pie at the end of the last year. It's officially my favorite book now, so I will not be using 3 Billy Goats Fluff. I'll be using Piggy Pie because I love that book. So you're going to want, if this is not your favorite book to teach persuasive writing or fiction writing, make it work for you because you want the kids to feel your excitement and really get that excitement themselves. And then there's also Mo Willems because I love Mo Willems. And Mo Willems starts in the launch and goes all the way through fiction writing because there's so many great things about Mo Willems' books. So, and you don't have to use that one. You can use any Mo Willems book in your classroom, but it's good for bringing stories to life, using speech bubbles, characters having dialogue. So those are the texts for first grade classrooms.
We got real excited about mentor texts, and we just our list was like a mile long, and it just kept getting, we got to get a little bit short, a little bit short. So I just want to thank the district for getting all the books for kindergarten. This is just a short sample of it. And like I said, we start off really, really small with like read it, don't eat it, taking care of your books, the routines, things like that. The Dot is a great story to get your students excited about writing, to know that they're a writer, and like let them feel like they're an author. There's Beautiful Oops, letting them know that they make mistakes, and that's okay. There are so many wonderful books out there. We don't want you to feel like you have to use the mentor text that we have at the top. We're all professional teachers, and there are books out there that you probably use that are better that we don't even know about. So like I said, it's not a curriculum, it's a framework. So use the mentor texts that work for you. We even put some recommended texts as well, because there were so many that were like, oh yeah, like when she talked about the fish story, I always think about I Want an Iguana, which is great for that too. And we're all professional teachers, we've been teaching a while. We know lots of books are out there that can teach that exact thing. So don't feel like you have to use the text that we picked. They just have worked for us in the past, and we did some research, and we found a lot of other schools have used these as well. So we know they work.